Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode. We are here with Patti Oskvarek, and she is the coaching for inspiration. It is fabulous. Imagine that. It might be actually be inspiring today. I look forward to hearing in the comments what you all are inspired to do after this discussion. So, Patti, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you. What makes you fabulous?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Lily. Um, I'm a leadership and work-life balance coach. I'm also a leadership coach. I'm a Reiki master, which is energy healing. And I combined the three of them together to help managers and supervisors to live a more purposeful, balanced life outside of work. And the reason why I became a coach was when I was in management, I wish I had a coach, somebody to bounce ideas off of, somebody to talk to about situations that are going on, helping you resolve issues, and not working 24/7, and how to balance your life so that you have friends and family and a spouse or a partner, all of those things. But when you're in leadership, a lot of times work takes over and you forget about everything on the outside.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
love
why I'm a leadership and work-life balance coach.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good point that so many times when we're in leadership positions or running our own business, there's very rarely someone we can talk to about all of it. It's always like, you are a business coach or you are a lifestyle guru, or it's never like, no, come and talk about whatever you want to talk about. We will find balance for you and for you to advocate for yourself. So I think that's something important that we overlook a lot, is that we're so busy putting ourselves into boxes that it's like, oh no, the big picture needs to actually look like something.
Definitely. We get so caught up in the moment that we don't plan to have other things in our life. And that's real important. Scheduling a coffee break with somebody, scheduling your vacation and actually going. That's so important, is to have it on your calendar blocked out so that nobody else can book you, right?
So I am laughing. I am laughing. This is not staged. Okay. I want to say that this is not staged. Literally, before getting on the call with you, I was on the call with my mother trying to find time in my schedule to take time off. And I was like,
Yes.
well, it can't be. And I'm sitting there like muttering to myself, that angry mutter that we do. It can't be that. Nope, nope, can't do that. I gotta do that then. And so, like, yes, you actually have to schedule your rest time. I recently told someone I schedule water breaks if I have to. If I know my day is too full, I will put like a 2-minute timer where it's like, yep, you're getting up and you're getting the water and you're sitting. But because how many times have we been so busy that we forget like bio breaks, like just for a,
Yes.
I, mhm, schedule it. No
And
shame in the schedule game, people.
and and schedule it way in advance. Schedule coffee time with a friend before you get booked so that you have them in your world, because we get so busy that we're going to one thing to another. But if you have it booked out and well in advance,
Mm-hmm.
you will have the time to do it. So
Yeah.
it's important to schedule it on your calendar, on your booking calendar, all of those things, so that you don't get double booked and that you nurture those relationships that
Mm-hmm.
you have. And even put your hobby time in there so that
Mm-hmm.
you have some time to relax,
I
whether it's with
schedule
a book.
baking. Like, because
Yes.
I love baking. I love baking. And so it's scheduled, and there are bread days where I just bake bread and stuff. But you're right. If it wasn't scheduled in, it wouldn't be there. And scheduling without, don't lie to yourself, I think is a really big part of finding balance. Um, I think a huge lie that people tell, that I have told myself, I will find time later
Yes.
after blank, whatever the blank is. I will do it after. And then all of a sudden it
Never comes.
6 months, a year later, you're like, oh yeah, I was supposed to change the air filter in the house. And it's because it can be that small.
Right.
But it's also like a vacation, like scheduling like 4 to 7 days of, oh, like it creeps up on you, people. And that's a huge part of this, is if you don't schedule it, it'll get pushed to the back burner for all of eternity.
And this is the important part. It's not just about scheduling it, it's booking it, booking the hotel, booking the whatever activities you're going to do. You put it on that schedule, you book it, you confirm it, you do the whole thing. Because just blocking out, oh, I'm going to go on vacation on this to this, you can, other things will come up. But if you have everything reserved and it's on there and it's going to happen, you make it happen. It's when you just block out time and you say, oh, I'm going to go get my nails done or whatever. No, you schedule getting your nails done. You schedule getting your hair done. You schedule all of these things. You schedule to see your friend. You go schedule to see your mother. All of those things, it will happen. It's when, oh, something else will come up. Well, no, they're priority too. They're the
Yes.
priority.
Yes. And I find that with scheduling, you have to do it in your own style. So some people, if they put it on their schedule and don't tell anybody, they're not held accountable. While other people, if they put it on their schedule and tell people, they'll get the, I know you have a nail appointment, but so figure out your own like way of scheduling. I am a slut for penalties. So if I need to schedule something, I will schedule it with something that has a hard penalty line, that if you cancel within 24 hours, you still have to pay for it. I'm going then. I'm 100% going.
You're committed.
But if I don't have that outside penalty, that's not my style. Like if it's, oh, no, hassle-free canceling, I'm like, you are not for me. I want the one that it's like, if you cancel, we will torpedo your life. And I'm like, hey, give me that one. Give me that one. But that's just me. Like some people, they would get so stressed about that. But if I don't have that outside, it's an ADHD thing. If I don't have that outside component, I don't do well with regulating it inside. But if it's on the outside, like every time I travel, I stay at hotels that have a very hard cancellation policy that'll make it extremely expensive for me not to do it. I've never missed a hotel reservation with that. Never. And I'm like, oh, but see, I'm smiling. That works for me. And I feel like that's what people forget. Like they're like, oh, so I'm going to schedule and I'm going to plan and I'm going to RS, and my life's just going to be better. I'm like, you'll smile more. You will be so happy that, yep, I can do that. And I know it works for me. It's exciting to know it works for you. It's like, I found it. And now my life is easier and it doesn't suck. And it's not a time suck. Doing this is not a time suck. It frees up so much time.
It makes you a better person by taking some time away and doing something fun and all of those things.
Yes.
And you don't realize it until you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're having coffee with a friend. Oh, I really needed this.
Yes. And again, everyone is different. So whenever I talk to clients or people, I always say, you need to find your energy cycle.
Yes.
So I have one client who's a mother, and once a month, she gets 48 hours to herself. The rest of the month she is a wife and mother and everything, but that 48 hours is no matter what, she gets to go stay at a hotel or a spa or whatever. Other people, they need that weekly nail appointment or massage. I have one colleague, bless his heart, he can go every single day nonstop for an entire year, but he needs to take a minimum of a 2-week vacation where he does not work at all. If he takes any more, he gets really weird about it, but he found his rhythm. Mm-hmm. And so when talking about scheduling and the balance, it's finding what balance actually works for you. If you need it every week, make it happen every week. If you need it once a month, make it happen once a month. I'm a very seasonal hoe. Like I like it seasonally. Every 3 months, I'm like, okay, something needs to shift where I need like a few days to reset. And it's different for like the weekly coffee. and then monthly this, like you can have different things in different areas.
Yes.
It's not a hard and fast rule, which I think stalls a lot. Do you find that it stalls a lot of people? Like it has to be this way. And if it's not this way, then I failed at it. Oh my God, I failed. It's
Well,
fine.
our life changes, our opportunities, everything in our life changes. So sometimes things are going to work in this part of your life, but aren't going to work in this part of your life. So you find your groove and you make it happen. Balance for me is not balance for you. Everybody has different things, wants, needs to feel happy and feel like they're productive and feel like they have a little bit of balance in the middle of the chaos, right?
Yes.
And as we go through life, our life changes and our needs and our wants changes. So we may have more time for different things or not time enough for other things. So it's what keeps you happy and content and able to get out of that chaos and into calm.
Yes. And I think something that I talk about a lot is Instagrammable. If it's
Oh, I love that.
Instagrammable, it's probably wrong. Like your self-care, your balance probably won't be Instagrammable. I'm sorry. And don't get me wrong, I'm on social media constantly. I got all the accounts. I'm a good millennial. But I feel like that's something that people get stuck on too, that it's, well, I saw this influencer say that once a week you need to be doing yoga. And if you're not doing that form of exercise, you don't actually have balance in your life. And it's like, if you need to punch a punching bag once a week, great. It doesn't have to be cliche or cookie cutter. Most
Right.
of the time, I don't want to say all the time, but I would say most of the time, it's not meant to be Instagrammable. It's not meant to be, you can share it on social media. Absolutely. Share your life. Who cares? But I don't think it's going to be that picture perfect. Like,
Right.
figure it out. And life changes. With that, do you think people, because I've met a lot of people who are like, okay, everything is shifting on a daily basis, so I need to shift on a daily basis. I find that hard. Like
Yeah.
that's exhausting to me. So they're like, okay, I need to change my balance every single day. It's like, no, if you know you need a nail appointment once a week, just do that for a few months. And then once
Yeah.
you figure out that you don't want your nails done anymore, then stop doing it. But because it's with the like life's always changing, they default into this. So then I need to change my routines every day or every week. And that's I don't find that sustainable. Do you?
No, I find that that's kind of chaotic.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Yes. Yes.
If someone said that was the way to happiness, I would be like, are you sure? I'm not judging, but are you sure?
Yes, things are gonna evolve. And one of the things that people need to realize is don't say yes to everything. Because if you say yes to everything and you don't really want to do it, you're not leaving room for things that you want to do. And it's having that boundary of saying, you know what, that's not for me. I want to do this. And you have room for that. But if you're always saying yes to everything, you're doing things that you don't enjoy, or
Yeah.
that you could be doing something else that you do enjoy that makes you happy.
Yeah. I always say if you say yes to everything, you're saying no to yourself.
Yes,
And
definitely.
it's so true. I believe that saying no is sexy. I talk about it around the country, and it's anyone, this is a sassy point of view. You may not agree. Anyone who says, this is my year of yes, this is the year you're going to fuck up your life. This is the year you're going to move to a compound with a llama and somebody who doesn't believe in deodorant. That's what you're going to do. You are going to ruin your life and your credit score. No, no is where it's at. Say no to anything, anyone, any situation that doesn't serve you and your soul. And yes will become the easiest thing that happens. Once you master no, yes is simple, because it's like, I took out everything that doesn't serve me. Oh, there's the yes. There's there's my unicorn. All I have to do is walk up and hug it. It's so much. No is the best. I agree. I get so passionate about this. I'm sorry. I'm calming down. No is the best word, period.
And when I grew up, you were to say yes to everything. And that's why we're absolutely people pleasers and in chaos all the time.
Yes. And that's
I had to learn to say no and to say it, and putting up those boundaries. People at first are like, what's going on here? But you know what? I'm a much happier person. And I love me because I'm able to say no now.
And most people are chill with it. And the people who aren't, it becomes so obvious that they're not meant to be in your life. They vote themselves off the island so quickly. It's fabulous. And it's just so interesting to, because I always tell people I was raised very traditionally by an Irish family. And so no was not a part of growing up until I was like an adult. Kids could say no, adults could say no, but you didn't know how to say no, because the first time that I said no was in this exercise in a training that I was doing. And they said, you have to get used to saying no. So you know it's a safe place, you know it's fine. The person across the table is going to ask for your pen and you're going to say no. This is the sound that came out of me, knowing, having them explain to me that this is an exercise and not real. I went completely red. I white knuckled the table. I fell in on myself and I went, and they were like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, this is actually painful. So it can be hard the first time, but once you get over the mouse squeak, it becomes, I love saying no now. I don't know about you, but like, I'm sitting here going, ooh, I'm going to say no so much this spring that my life is going to be phenomenal.
I love that. Yes, it's uncomfortable at first, but then once you start doing it, it becomes more and more comfortable. And there's ways to say it in a kind, compassionate way. And I talk about those things if you're uncomfortable, but then, like you said, the more you say it, the easier it gets.
Yes. And if not to be a shameless plug, but I feel like if you need help with saying no, schedule a session. Like full support, unashamed cheerleading is in your future then, because we are both just sluts for the word no. We love it. I'm incredibly sassy with my no's. I love what you say. And there are nice ways to say it. And I'm sitting here going, and there are ways to say it so mean that make me happy. My favorite way to say no, this is so bad. You're going to judge me for this. It's so bad.
No.
I will laugh if it's like an inappropriate ask, I will laugh in somebody's face. It is not intentional. It is my knee-jerk reaction. If someone asks something, I had a guy walk up to me and say, I've got money and alcohol. And I laughed directly in his face. And then his face like fell. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. No. And sad. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, don't walk up and speak to someone that way. So yeah, you were like, there are always respectful ways to say no. And I'm like, there's always a sassy way to say no.
I love that. Yeah, you use your personality when you say no. You know, everybody approaches things differently, and that's how you become comfortable saying no, is saying it in your own unique way.
Yes.
And I love how you say no.
Yeah, it's certain situations cause for a laugh in the face. And I think you're right. I talk about customizing it being really authentic to you, and you do the same thing. It's the way I say no will not be the same as the way you or anybody else. So if you're watching, obviously take inspiration from both of us. If you are more soft-spoken and you want to be nice, and the word I keep thinking of whenever I look at you is respectful, you respect yourself so much that it like, I love that about you. You are so inherently honorable to yourself. And it's like, that's the way that you say no, where I am loud and irreverent at almost all times. And it's like, that's the way that I say no. It's a no. But we both found our style. Like, I could not imagine you saying like F no. in a crowded room and everyone looking at you like, did she have a stroke? What happened?
Well,
And I
when that
couldn't imagine
happens, you know I'm over the top, right?
yeah,
When that happens, that's when I've had enough.
yeah, that's what you pushed too far. Now we're over it now. Yeah, exactly. So with all of this fabulousness, I have a few questions for you if you are open to them.
Yes, definitely.
One, you are so empowering. Is there a way, are you accepting new clients to help
Yes.
people say no and to find the balance that they need? Is that something that the listeners who sorely need it or may have just not realized that saying no was so hard or that balance was actually a thing that they could have? Is that something you're open to?
Yes, and they can book me on my website, which is Coaching for Inspiration with Patti, and Patti is spelled PATTI.com.
Perfect. That was the next question. I'm like, okay, so the people who want to book with you, how? Give me the how so that I can have them know that. I love it. I think I love finding someone who says no because everyone is about yes. Everyone's like manifesting is about yes and loving yourself is about yes. I'm like,
No, if you want it, you got to have room for it to come in.
mhm.
And if you're saying yes to everything, you're not giving the opportunity for something else to come in that's much more important.
Yes,
If
you
you're
gotta
doing
do
stuff,
that.
yeah, if you're doing stuff that you don't enjoy, you're not happy doing it, it makes you grumpy, it makes you sad, it makes you angry. You're not letting the opportunity of new things coming in. Let it go. Give
Yes,
it to somebody else that'll enjoy it.
I love that. So before we sign off, is there any final comments or words of wisdom that you have for the listeners?
When your life is in chaos, just step back, take a few breaths, and think, what can I do to change this? Because you can make that decision to change things in your life. You can let go of things, you can delegate things, you can schedule things out of your life and into your life. You have a choice. Be
Yeah.
happy, be happy, and let good things come into your life.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all the no's and all of the fabulous balance. For the people listening, please follow and subscribe if you want to see more. Comment if you have questions. We want to help you in any way we can. And obviously like this if you got value from this fabulous human and the conversation that took place here today, because it is just I love finding another no person. They are if you ever find yourself a no person, keep them forever because they are some of the best people you could have in your life. A solid no. Oh, that's amazing. So once again, Patti, Patti, thank you so much. Have a great day. And oh, just you are fabulous. I hope you get told that every day.
Well, thank you. It was great being on here.